Explore light, color, and storytelling with shadow puppets. To make this shadow puppet theater, I'm using a 10 by 8 by 6 inch collapsed cardboard box, but any cardboard box will do, even a cereal box. You just need a flat surface that will hold your screen, a place for your light source to shine, and at least one side open so that you can put in the puppets. Our kit includes an articulated clip-on reading lamp, but any sort of flashlight or even just a regular lamp will do. We've got some pieces of tissue paper in different colors, short sticks such as coffee stir sticks, skewers, or straws, black cardstock or another fully opaque paper, and we've got some white chalk to help us draw on the black paper. And last but not least, we'll be using parchment paper for our screen. Parchment paper is translucent and allows some light through, but also lets us cast shadows using our puppets. You can also try using a sheet. The first thing you want to prepare on your box is the side that will hold the screen. Make sure that you are measuring how much of the parchment paper you have and cut out your window a little bit smaller than your piece of parchment paper so you have enough space to glue or tape it on. Next, carefully cut out that window with a box cutter. This should definitely be an adult job, and you want to make sure you've got some sort of cutting surface between the layers of your box. Let's take that out, and I don't know about you, but I am definitely keeping that for later crafts. You can see as we pop it open that we now have a nice window that we can look through. The next part we're prepping will actually be the top of the box. Where I'm drawing in chalk is where we are going to score the cardboard. That means that we're only going to cut through the top layer of the corrugated cardboard, not all the way through. I've also cut a little square right in the middle there to hold our light. Now we're going to push the back flaps a little bit forward so that they line up at the same angle of where we've cut our score marks. We can fold down those flaps and tape or glue them together, and that will provide the whole thing with enough structure to stay standing strong. I'm just going to quickly tape things for this video, but at home you should definitely either use some hot glue here or just go to town with tape because we do want to make sure this is really sturdy. If you watch closely in this video, you'll see that I did not use enough tape in the first time around on this. All right, it's standing well on its own. Flip it over and take a look inside, and now we are going to put in our light source. Our kit has these nice little clip-on book lights, but again, any sort of light will do. So we are going to thread it down through the hole, clip on right there. Oh, there goes the tape. And now we can take a look and see that everything but the screen has been assembled for our puppet theater. You can see that the light will be able to move closer and farther away from the screen once that's in there, and by turning on the light, you actually have a fair amount of light coming out, and that'll make good shadows. Now let's get our screen on there. We are going to flip it so that the window is facing down, and it's actually a good way to do it with this already constructed because it's going to hold all the rest of the flaps of the box away from the surface that you need to tape. Line your parchment paper up and make sure that there aren't any gaps between the edges of the parchment paper and your cutout window. I'm using some black electrical tape because it shows up well on camera, and also because it does stick fairly well to the parchment paper. You might have a bit of an adventure trying to get your parchment paper stuck down because the whole reason we like to cook with it is food doesn't like to stick to it, and surprise, lots of tapes and glues also don't like to stick with it, so just be patient and do your best to get everything stuck down. You're also going to want to tape down all the edges, not just here and there like I'm doing. Our puppet theater's ready for puppets. You can use your materials to make whatever sorts of shapes you like, and I've included some white chalk, which will help make it a lot easier to draw your designs out so you can practice before you cut. I'm deciding to make a fish because I think pretty much everyone can draw a really cool fish. Don't worry about making your drawing perfect or drawing extra lines on, because you're not going to see the puppet, you're just going to see the silhouette. So if you need to draw or remove details, that's fine. I'd like to challenge you to make some of your puppets have colors. As you can see, what I've done to my fish is cut out an oval window in the middle and then cover that with green tissue paper. Now I think it's going to make a green shadow. Think about what you know about how different colors mix together to make different shadow puppets that might blend together to make different colors on our shadow screen. You can also add all sorts of details to your shadow puppets, like cutting little windows out of a house and maybe putting some yellow paper behind to make the lights on. House lights off, theater lights on, and start playing with your puppets. You'll see that when you move your puppet farther away from the screen, it will look a little blurry, and when you move it closer to the screen, you'll get a sharper image. You could build scenery for a story like the Three Little Pigs, and even make shadow puppets out of something like your hand for the big bad wolf. That looks maybe like the big bad duck. That's a little better, sure. Make some puppets using stickers or toys or anything that has a really good solid outline or silhouette. And of course, have a ton of fun playing around with your different color combinations. Look, I've got a red fish and a yellow fish, and they're making an orange fish. This is great. It sort of looks like a moving and living stained glass window. Have a blast with this. Full Steam Ahead kits are available nearly every Saturday at the Fort St. John Public Library. Kits are completely free and available first come, first serve. These are available thanks to generous support from Shell.